that
Yeah.
that
It's
have been
interesting you bring that up, because yes, part of this reading is also to help you with that, right? To increase the trust in what you're actually experiencing, and see kind of the bigger multidimensional picture of that. Because that's often what we need, right? We need to just kind of have some sort of
right. Yeah.
validation.
But with that said, though, you're still in this kind of reality, right? So you're trying, like I think I explained to someone once, sometimes I always see this scene of just two, and it's an earthly scene, like an ocean scene and a mountain scene. I said, but I feel like I have a foot here and a foot there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I feel like I have this foot in two worlds, right? And just trying to dance in both, the best I can.
Your soul origin, where you can consider your soul was formed, i.e. splitting out from a group consciousness, is in the Andromeda galaxy, M31. And it's a different galaxy than the Milky Way galaxy. It's our sister galaxy to Milky Way. And it's said that Andromeda galaxy and Milky Way galaxy are going to, like in some 100,000s of years from now or more, will collide. And who knows in universal history if actually it's been one and the same, and it's separated and then it's coming back, because that's how energy works, right? It's zeros and ones. It's always this polarity that is needed for something to exist. So it's on and off, but the important point here is that your soul, as its most kind of origin, is associated with another galaxy than what we're in now. And I put a picture here of a number of different galaxies that we are aware of. So the Andromeda galaxy is size-wise bigger. I put it in here. It's a part of the Andromeda constellation. It's not the same. The Andromeda constellation is something different than the Andromeda galaxy, but here you can see the position of it. It's like a spiral there in that left-hand picture. So Andromeda is going to, as a constellation and a galaxy, Andromeda overall is going to play a big role in your galactic heritage. You did have one of your first incarnations as an individual soul was in Andromeda Titawin. And Andromeda Titawin is the alignment that you have to Pluto in a trine. So often we can detect incarnations galactically through conjunctions, or oppositions. But and this came out intuitively, Andromeda Titawin is one of your first kind of places as a soul where you incarnated, and you were a 7-dimensional higher etheric. So you had a non-physical body, which is very common, right? In the beginning of our soul's journey, we are not choosing to incarnate in a physical body. We often exist as an energy, and that's higher etheric is really that, very high vibrating. And you worked with the energy of creation itself. And that's also, I've seen that multiple times, right? In the beginning, when we're starting to experience ourselves as a soul, we want to work with creation itself. And energy, basically pure energy, and that's what you did too. Now Titawin, Andromeda Titawin specifically, and we'll look at a map of the Andromeda constellation in a second, is a feminine star, like feminine energy, very because often there's either masculine domination in terms of energy or feminine domination. So but Titawin specifically is a feminine star energy associated with. And here, and I'm reading from some notes that I channel, like when I work with your energy, I have to write down because otherwise I won't remember. Here you got your first experience with creation as an individual soul that is flavoring your authentic leadership today. So you have that natural energy as part of your soul of a spiritual warrior, passion for science, inspiring, and you are also like Titawin specifically is a star that is about unconditional love and harmony. So all of those qualities your soul is of naturally. It's like in the skeleton of your soul. That's what you have. Now we're going to take a look at your chart here and how I see that here at the Pluto alignment. You see that trine to Andromeda Titawin, and look at the 0.01, right? It's such a close orb. Like an orb is like how close it is in alignment. And you can also see the squares there to Aldebaran, Antares, and Hiatus. Hiatus is an energy. Yeah, I have also put up kind of how it looks like in the sky there. The hiatus is related to energy of galactic heritage around creativity. So there's a square there, like the life force that you were working with, you know, that creator energy was limited in some way. And how it expresses itself in this life is that you may not always have had access to that. You know, your inner creativity, your inner passion, if you will. And the channeled messages that came out there was related to, you know, that favoring of linear thinking, and that it actually is linked into the ancestral karma, which I will talk about later. And Chiron is associated, you know, that key symbol is really associated with our core wound. So I'm not surprised that this is definitely an important theme that your soul is carrying, right? But it still is working on. Chiron here is what you are, the wound that you're turning into a gift. And you're also working with the galactic point here, the great attractor. The great attractor, I'm going to show you later, there are a number of black holes in the universe that is kind of driving the energy. And our own black hole here in the Milky Way is the galactic center. You have natural access coming from another galaxy to the great attractor, which is one of the biggest black holes that drives the universe. So there is also a square there. The way I translate this, Kate, for you is that you are meant in this life to connect back with the vast life force that you are. The Pluto here, as you can see at the bottom of the chart, is linked to both Neptune and Venus. And Venus in the 12th house, that's your divine feminine essence that comes through there. And it's linked way into Andromeda. You can see that Andromeda galaxy is right around your Venus. You have an exact alignment almost to Andromeda mirage of your Venus. And the reason I'm pointing out your Venus here is that your Venus is at the 29th degree. And which is telling me a lot. And I have some messages around that 29-degree Venus, which I will get to. But Venus and Neptune are key alignments here. And next theme, we're going to focus on your alignment to CRUX for the Neptune there in Scorpio, because that is some powerful energy. Now, this is a significant incarnation theme in your soul's journey, and it's associated with your Neptune, your spiritual self, right? So part of your life's journey is to come back to all of that spiritual self, connect back with your talents and gifts working with light, but also your divine feminine qualities of your soul. You're meant to really connect. And in the 6th house, it actually has to do with your work, your daily life, you know, what you do every day. So Neptune in the 6th house, it's like you are a spiritual seer, right? You are a spiritual, and your journey here with those squares in the beginning of the chart is that your journey is to find yourself back to that. And it might not always have been easy, right? It's this growth opportunity that you're asked to this journey that you're asked to go on. And I'm going to show you now, I have an image here of CRUX. And these images are meant for you to connect just with the energy of it. And you know, this is what we have. We're building a body of knowledge, right? I can only imagine we're in the beginning of connecting with information like this. So this is what we have, right? We have some images, we have some constellations, drawings, but your soul is like, yeah, here we are, here we have this experience, and she's connecting with it now. And it's like, but these are the tools we have now to make sure you connect with it. So it's a reason for me to show, you know, this cross formation, the crux called the Southern Cross. It's visible from the southern hemisphere. But it's a cross formation. It's close to the Centaurus constellation as well. You can see the Centaurus constellation there in one of the pictures with the crux cross. I forgot to mention, it just popped in, I was reminded here in CRUX, do you have any affinity to water or you know, amphibian kind of water, earth?
The big joke in my family that mom doesn't get in the pool.
So I just wanted to mention, because that was a piece of very interesting information. I thought you were an amphibian human, because you were asking me about, can you, you know, the body type is really important for you to know more about. And here you were, and this is actually tracked down to souls from CRUX. Often incarnations here were like an amphibian. So whatever that means, what that opens up in you is, yeah, I thought that was interesting. And you were here a 9th dimension, like you imagine, this is as high vibrating you've ever been in this CRUX theme here. But as an amphibian, whatever that means, it is that you are bringing 2 elements together, water, earth kind of thing. And yeah, I thought that was interesting, because most of your galactic life or soul history has been more as a, you know, an energy, not necessarily as a physical body. But this seemed to be, to me, more of a physical body, but relating to water, relating to earth. And I'm being led to think that also life on earth is going to be much more circulating around water. So there is some ability that you have here potentially, and that might be a lead-in for you to start relating to water as a consciousness, because that may be something that you have actually done as an amphibian in the past. I'm just happy. We go back to your birth chart. We're talking about Uranus now. We're still in the 4th house at the bottom of the chart here. And your Uranus is conjunct Hydra. Hydra is, and you may have heard it in my videos, I talked a lot about Hydra because there's been a lot of activation of Hydra constellation energy now with both Venus and Lilith and Leo. And there's been a lot happening in Leo. So this is part of your activation right now when Venus is right around there. You can see I've pulled in the transits in green here because that's the transiting planets in our solar system. Venus is right there, highlighting for you the importance of your alignment to Hydra. And you have incarnated in Hydra constellation in your past. And I want to share with you, you have such powerful energy here. And I'll tell you why. Your Uranus here is aligned to Hydra. So that's, you have had an incarnation there. You also have an alignment to Regulus, which is one of the royal stars connected into Archangel Raphael. And you have those alignments showing in your galactic chart. Opposite this is Jupiter, up in the 10th house at 1 degree. And Jupiter, you have aligned to another royal star, Fomalhaut, which is also associated with angelic energy, Archangel Gabriel. Now, as you can see, transiting Saturn, the green Saturn up there at the very top, is activating that placement as well. So no wonder you and I are here talking, because this is exactly, you know, what's activating. And this theme is very activating in your life now. It's like turning on a switch, right? It also comes with a trine, and I'll show you in your galactic chart, to your home, so to say, M31 Andromeda galaxy. It's a trine to that, which is a flowing energy, also very, you know, it's supportive energy of yours. You also working with 2 black holes, trine, Shapley attractor, and the galactic center. So here you have soul memories, soul energy of expansion, of life force, being in your full prime of energy. And it's in your 4th and 10th house. Again, it's that inner journey, bringing out and expanding. You have Jupiter in the 10th house. Wow.
So, yeah, I feel like I've kind of just been pulling back, as they kind of told me. You've just been kind of like pulling back this slingshot, and you're just ready to just kind of let it loose now. And now's the time. Now the if you want to call it planetary alignment or energy or whatever it is, for me at this point is such that it's super supportive for me to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that slingshot, when you let that go, that's the energy that you have there in this theme. Like what that energy that releases when you let that go, that slingshot, that's the theme here we're talking about.
Yeah. And I think that it's also the, if you want to call it, the stories that you tell yourself, I guess, of why you're doing it, but they really don't really exist. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, I'm kind of wasting energy. I'm wasting my energy kind of trying to stay somewhere instead of telling myself, well, if I don't do that, then this is going to happen, where like nothing shows up, right? Yeah. That doesn't show up, you know? So, yeah. But yeah, I think that it's funny how when you talk about that you're being super supportive, I was very hesitant to go down this path, right? And then I just finally kind of had a conversation with my husband. I said, look, I just, you know, I probably can't put the genie in the bottle, back in the bottle. So I'm going to need to kind of like see where this goes. And I just remember writing, like, they just said, you can't even fathom how supported and protected you are. You have nothing to be afraid of. Like, you are surrounded by just like infinite amount of
Yeah.
beings, right? They just kept on telling me that, like, just to try to make me be brave.
Yes, yes. And we're getting into more of recent soul history here involving your sun, Mercury, and moon. And in your chart here, you have Andromeda, as I said, was a very important hub for you, or constellation. And yes, you incarnated here in Andromeda also more recently. You have some more numerology in your chart. There's an asteroid Eros is at 444 in your chart next to Mercury here in Aries. And I'll show you in your chart. You also have your moon. And this is kind of the 11th house theme we're talking about. All the networking, the groups, the soul family, if you will, that we're talking about. And you did incarnate here in Andromeda-AlpHeratz. Yeah, and a crystal, I don't know if you're into crystals, but a crystal came up that might be helpful for you to connect with this theme is
Probably have it.
yeah, Herkimer Diamond.
Oh.
Herkimer Diamond is one that's associated with this numerology of 444 and the Eros placement there that you have. Asteroid Eros is, again, an energy that wants to link you back to your inner passion, your life force. It actually also speaks to astral traveling. So you asked me to identify gifts that you have that you may not have connected with yet. So astral traveling is a gift of yours that you have done a lot as a soul, and also the past life memory recall. So I'm not surprised that we're, from here, you may also be very interested in, past life regression or working with any type of things that recall past lives in other people and help them translate that. You are already you're already a fifth dimensional soul here. You're not a third dimensional soul. You're a fifth dimensional soul here. 30% of your soul is operating here on Earth plane. 70% of your soul is actually associated with Andromeda. So was a message here around this. You're here to help stabilize the birth and expansion on Earth. You're here to help balance the negative energy, lack, victim energy. You're meant to share your spiritual technology in collaboration and co-creation with others. You are a courageous, highly rewarded soul already. Right? You have that what I call star royalty in your chart, and you are invited to start seeing yourself as an advanced soul that has a huge contribution here. You are bringing new unity consciousness to Earth. And then be prepared to go into uncharted territory, and connect to Earth is important. Like your connection to Earth is important. Open to synchronicities and open yourself even more to mystery, and the direction is revealed. And again, it came through. You are fully supported on Earth. Like this whole support thing is there is something in there for you to fully step into believing, because part of that is unlocking your power.
Not like there's probably anything that's typical, but like, what do you seem to run across in your readings? Like, is it typical for not to get all your work done, obviously?
If I look at the totality of your energy, there is no chance that you will not, right? Based on the power that you have and your experiences that you're drawing from. Now, in linear life, it depends on how long it will take, right? Is it within this incarnation or is it another one, right? But I have looked into where you're going next. So
I have a feeling
humans,
it's not
we
here.
can play with probability, right? As a human, but your soul already knows what the end goal is here, where the end, how it looks like it's already. And especially you have your Andromedan soul there that's kind of helping, kind of, ooh, you know, the purification that you're asked to do in this life is to come into stronger belief in yourself, and to believe that you're that's supported, for sure, that it feels strongly, and there's no chance that a soul with your prominence and taking on these, big contracts for Earth in terms of supporting ascension, there's no chance that you won't succeed, if you will. That's just my intuitive sense at this point. But it's a mind game, right? In human form, we can say, oh, is it this or is it that? But your soul already knows. It just is. And that's the energy you're asked to tap into. Because I also want to share that your soul essence is purple. And purple vibration is of the higher order, right? That's the vibration you come in with as a soul, that you carry with you each incarnation, is of that purple ray. And it is basically to teach others, by being in the grocery store, how to transcend the physical world and align with our higher self. Like, that is that purple ray. And that's you are of that, right? And also this, and it's connected to the crown chakra. So you can, you're part of, the natural healing creative arts is that's you. And I'm not saying it's you, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's I'm describing the purple. You decide what you are, not me, but I'm describing the purple ray, and the abilities that have been shown through people who have the purple ray in this soul. And you're also able to transform DNA trauma conditioning, basically, and that's part of your mission, to help others transform that victimhood. And you also have an outer ring of indigo. And indigo is also connected with the third eye, but it's also the little bit of a problem solver type of energy. So your outer ring in your soul essence is indigo. And it's linked to the third eye, helping to help us all to see beyond the physical. So there is your Neptune in the 6th house, right? It really comes through there. It's the higher order. Your Uranus aligned to Hydra. And your angelic support through your Jupiter, for sure.